2, 3. Howdy, folks, and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And tonight we got a full house. Holy cow, we got a good show for you. We got Lucky Stone, Delaware Suchi, Nina the Mystic, and Grandpa Brian. We got people from all over the world tonight, and they are the wise people. And we're going to talk about wise sayings tonight. So stick around, join us all as we discuss wise things. Now, you guys have all said wise things before, and that's why people tune in, is because you are wise. And, how did you get that wise? And where did this come from? This knowledge, Delaware, you're like a scientist. You can explain this wise stuff to us.
Well, I guess it comes from life experience and awareness, because, intelligence is it could be one of two things. It's either left brain or right brain. It's either logical or it's emotional. But there's a third way that's even higher than that, and that's intuition. And besides like being a consciously aware person who remembers a lot of things, I don't know what would be the secret to getting really smart. I guess it's easier to quantify stupidity than it is to quantify intelligence. And it's easier to look at the example of somebody who exemplifies stupidity and doing the exact opposite of that. And I don't know, one of the people that I would put in that category would be somebody like, I don't know, Dan Quayle. And he had a long list of these wise sayings, including things like, I stand by every misstatement I have ever made.
Yeah. Well, I totally get it, because there is a difference between being smart and being wise. And just because you're not super smart, that doesn't mean that you're not wise. Education has nothing to do with it.
Education has nothing to do with it. That's just training.
Exactly, which I think a lot of people confuse. Like, oh my gosh, he's got a diploma. He must be really super smart and wise. Let's go ask him. Whatever he says, we got to listen to. And I think the world has a problem of, differentiating that.
See, a lot of people who are smart don't necessarily have to be in those smart professions where they're visibly so. Like, I don't know, physics, or in some kind of an educational capacity, like a professor or a scientist or whatever. They could be a janitor. And they just want to have an easy life with lots of peace of mind, not have to, concern themselves with anything too difficult. And they could still be a genius. They could still be wise. I guess it depends on how you live your life. Rubber ducky, yeah? Could you bring that up again?
Yeah, I will. All about
it's the rubber duck. Yes, it does. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Lucky, you deal with a lot of people. You have a job that you got to deal with people, and you've had education and all of this stuff. Do you deal with wise people or just highly educated people who don't know much?
That's a tough one. My experience is the more education you have, the more book smart you are, the less wise you are. You can speak all the calculations and all the facts you want, but if you can't apply it, what good are you? And that's what happens a lot. A lot of times my job is to take the intelligent people and the hardworking people and have them meet in the middle, and hopefully figure out a solution, because normally they're butting heads, because people who are using the equipment every day to day, they know how it works, but the scientists know how it should work. And unfortunately, physics and life and biology don't always follow the same rules.
Yeah, absolutely. I have the same problem in my job, where you got engineers who engineer something, and when they finally make the product and they get it ready to use, it doesn't quite work. And then they scratch their heads. Well, it worked out on paper, well, now it doesn't work here because you left out some factors. And then you never went and asked the guy that was actually going to do the job what was going on. Amber Dawn's in the house. Thank you, Amber, for coming.
She's muted.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And we'll get to you soon, but we're going to go to another guy, Grandpa Brian, who's wise every day of the week because he's on that roof and he don't want to fall. Grandpa Brian, what you got to say about being wise? Now, in your field, where you are, what you're doing, you run into wise people, or are you the wise guy that everybody looks to?
Well, I actually work with a bunch of dumbasses.
There you go.
I'm serious. I don't think between all of them they have 50% common sense. It's pretty ugly where I work at when it comes to common sense, and that goes into the office also.
Yep.
There's no structure where I work at. It's unorganized chaos at work.
Mm-hmm. And I think that it kind of says it for the whole world in a way. I mean, I think we all are seeing that. My question is this some kind of a problem that's going all the way around? We'll turn to Nina and say, Nina, what do you see in your part of the country? Now you're up there in Canada. What do you see there?
As far as wise people?
Yeah, how are the people there in your area? Are they wise or are they dumbasses too?
You know what? There's a mixed bag, It's funny because you walk around and you're still watching people wearing a mask and the whole thing, it makes you wonder like what is going on upstairs, is there anything going on upstairs, honestly, like but then again, they got another scare coming now, right? Where everybody's talking about, they're prepping us now. We're going to be doing masks here next month, and then travel's going to be restricted, and then boom, we're back down in lockdown again, and apparently in December, just before Christmas, I'm sure. So be prepared for that, everybody.
Isn't it amazing how they know ahead of time? Like,
isn't it? Yeah.
They got their crystal ball out there and reading the tarot. Max, they must have talked to you. Thank you for coming. They must have went and, contacted Nina, got some card readings. Then they came to you and said, we want you to do some readings to see what the future's going to bring here. Get your panel and get on that right away.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the future, unfortunately, is going to bring some horrors. They've promised us horrors, and they're coming. We were just beta tested on. Now they're ready to go full scale.
Well, this is what I said all along. What we just went through, that was the dress rehearsal to what's coming up.
No, they're going to pull out the full weaponry this time. So be prepared for that. I think there's going to be a lot of death, especially amongst the young, like they promised us. This is going to be really bad, guys. Like this is going to be really bad.
So this is going to be the bad one everybody's going to worry about. I mean, really needs to worry about.
Yes, this is full scale. This will be full scale on us. Like you'll have, we saw people in Wuhan falling down in the streets, and that might be how far they take it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm wondering if that has to do with that 5G.
It is, absolutely.
Because that was the first city that flicked that on. And isn't that funny that they were doing that, and yet we didn't have any of that here.
We don't have 5G cities, but what we have is a 5G grid around us.
But you know what? I was going to add on because we were talking earlier on your show about Kelowna. And Kelowna actually was the first city that got the 5G around here. And isn't it funny? That's the city that they want to make into a smart city that just happened to burn up here last week.
They probably have all the infrastructure underground as well.
Yeah.
So that's all safe and secure because the Walmarts are usually still going, and anybody who has like estate property, their property seems to be just fine, as long as you're in the cabal. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, be prepared, guys. This is not going to be a joke this time. This is not
Yeah, I
going to
think
be.
too. It's gonna be.
This is
It's
going to
gonna
be.
be. Yeah, it's gonna be so bad that we're gonna want to wear a mask. That's where I think we're gonna be at. Where we're not gonna want to go outside because
Well,
there
that
is
yeah.
actually something that could kill, especially us who are a little bit older, and got some respiratory issues already, and like even a common cold is not a joke. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah.
be prepared to shelter in place. That's that's what Robert and I have been chatting about that earlier on Gilded. So if you guys go on Gilded, you
Yeah.
guys can be part of some chats. But yeah, no, we're going to be prepared to shelter in place.
So
Yeah,
I
pretend that
wargamed
there
it.
is something,
You war game this in your head, and what they've got to pull out and what they can do is devastating. We could have FEMA in the streets because of power outages. They'll take down the internet.
Oh, yeah, if the power
Your
goes out, we're
banking.
fucked. Oh, I'm sorry.
Your banking's gone. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no,
You're right.
we're like then it's going to be martial law.
Yeah, and
Because
then
it'll be mayhem, it'll be looting and murder. I mean, we're talking like,
Yeah.
all of a sudden everybody's turned into an animal.
And then you hit the kids in the schools with 5G.
Yeah.
Make a few of them drop dead. That'll scare the
And
hell
they'll blame
out of
it on
people.
whatever boogie's going
Yeah.
around, right?
Then you send the kids home, right? You send the kids home, and then you broadcast everywhere and get everyone sick. And that'll convince everyone that the boogeyman's back, and you've got to listen to the authorities.
Right.
I came across this clever little poem that's about the mask. That's modeled after Dr. Seuss's Cat in the Hat. Here
Oh, yeah.
goes. I will not wear it on my face. I will not wear it any place. I will not wear it to get in. I will not wear it on my chin. I will not wear it on my ear. I will not wear it out of fear. I will not wear your stupid mask. I will not wear it. Do not ask.
Beautiful.
Oh my God, that is
Very
pretty
nice.
cool. That's something that Courtney would have probably told her
Hi,
kids.
Courtney.
And that's
That's
what we
cool
should teach
there.
children in school. New
Yeah,
doctors.
it's like nursery rhymes.
There you go.
They're great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Welcome, Courtney. Stars in the morning light. There you go.
Guys,
Welcome.
Saturday. Yay.
Yeah, yay. Thank you for popping in. We're
Yeah.
just getting going, and we're talking about wise things, and Max is saying some pretty wise stuff about what's coming here. Like I said, I kind of souped up into that, but anyway, here
It's
we
what's
are.
on everyone's mind right now.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It sure is. Amber, what is it? Is there wise people in your part of the country?
Wise people?
Yeah, do you see people wise, or are they dumbasses over there too?
They're not that wise. I mean, maybe my inner circle is wise, but they're not even usually in the same country as me. So, yeah.
A lot of dumbasses.
But can you hear me? Because I have my ear pods in, and I know sometimes they don't work very well.
Oh yeah, we can definitely hear you. You're coming in loud and clear.
Absolutely. That's loud and clear.
Yeah, real loud.
Okay. Oh, too loud? Because I can turn it down.
Yeah, just a shade.
Okay, hold on. Let me turn this down a little bit.
Just
Amber, what part of the country are you in?
I'm in Nevada. But so, I was going to say, like, my brother showed me a video, and I can't. This is how much I care about this person, but he's very well known to all of you, so I know you guys can tell me his name. I just don't remember people's names very well. He's the one with the glasses, the one who's all into tech, but he's also making the V word, the pricks, the jabs. What's his name?
Bill
Fauci.
Gates.
Fauci? No.
Gates.
Gates.
Okay.
Oh, Gates. Yeah.
There's so
And my
guys with glasses.
I know. I have a little guy next to me, and these are the people that we're trying to protect, right? The
Yeah.
truth. And I have a little baby next to me that we all need to remember, like, it's not just about us, it's about them. And so my brother showed me a video with Mr. Gates, and he was saying that, oh, there's going to be way worse pandemic than what was before, and you guys are really going to wake up this time. And he was smiling the whole time.
Yeah. The second one now surely get your attention is what he said. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
come back.
So
yep.
the only way they can know this is if they're going to create this.
He created the virus in the first place. They own the patent on it. You know?
Yeah.
That's why they're making all this money. And now they own
Like
the
I
patent
said,
on
they promised
too,
us
right?
that this one would hit the
Sorry.
kids. This one would hit the kids.
Yeah.
And that's how they're really going to
And they can target
frighten
different
people.
ages and races, and they can target you down. Like if they have your DNA, they can target it right down to just you.
Well, during the beginning of the pandemic, they spent time putting up all these 5G towers and installing them in hospitals and schools, 5G communication systems. So they've got the weapon systems right there. If you look up 5G weaponry, the effects of microwave weapons, you'll find it's flu-like symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you can just check that right out on Google. So they're going to cause flu-like symptoms and worse on kids, and then send them home.
This happened back in 1918 when we had the big other one in the first one, right?
Yeah.
Well, what just came out then?
Yep.
We got the radio and whatever, right? And so this is how our bodies are adjusting to the new technology, and they just blame it on something.
Okay.
I don't even want to say the words. I've already said too much, I think.
You're right on and spot on there. But if you know history, I love history. Delaware, you probably already know this, that when the telegraph came in and the telegraph operators and things were getting sick, people were getting sick who lived around the telegraph lines because of the electromagnetic forces coming through there, because the bodies weren't used to that stuff. There was no electric. So, I forget what they called it. It was some kind of a flu, they called it. And the horses were dying.
About this moment, though?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I moved to Chattanooga, Tennessee in September of 2015. That December and January is when they rolled out 5G. We were the first in the entire world in Chattanooga, Tennessee. That's why we got
that sucks.
I'm going to tell you guys, I've been living right next to it this whole time. It's not just the 5G, because it didn't actually do anything to that. I can verify. I mean, trust me. I've been living in it. It's everywhere. In the city of Chattanooga, there's only one internet company, and it's all fiber optics and it's all 5G. Now I'm outside of that, but yet it's still in the air. It is not going to be just 5G. You've had to have things also in place to activate things. So it's not just 5G. It's not like that movie Bird Box that everybody's like, oh, that's 5G attack. No, there's got to be other things in place, because we've been living with it for years and it never did anything.
Yes, it did. If you read Arthur Furstenberg's The Electric Rainbow, it's a study of electricity from the beginning of its inception till today. It's caused everything from disease to deformities.
Like to attack, like a full on, we all go batshit crazy at once, full attack like that. Something else has to be in place.
Oh yeah.
They've got 4G, 3G. There's the Doppler radar system. There's HARP. They can send out ELFs that'll drive you crazy. They've got the Lily Wave that operates through the wiring in your house. They have multiple systems in place.
Is the vaccine a part of it? Right?
Yes, it is part of it.
There's got to be something else.
That's why they're trying to drop stuff from the skies, toxify us.
Right. Oh God.
There's also apparently nanotech in that as well. So they want to get as much of that into you as they can. That'll give them a vector of attack.
So can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? What are we actually worried about? I don't understand. what other people are worried about. So please explain it to me.
But being locked down?
What?
In what way?
I don't
Like,
know what people are worried about. Are they worried about dying or lockdown?
well, they can kill you with it. You can be killed with it. You can be outright stopped dead in the street, fall down dead. If they
Well, you can also lose.
like
you can
you're not in it. You're not in it. You're in a part of it. You're in one small amount of it that they can spray or use upon you. You're not being saturated with full power.
Oh, I'm not.
I actually
You know,
heard that.
and
I
that's
actually
what
heard
they
this
do.
whistleblower said something about spraying something that would use as depopulation. So
Yeah,
something that can't. So
during the
people-
first wave of the pandemic, I tracked it with an EMF meter, and as the just before the cases were on a rise, you would get a rise in EMF radiation. You can all get the ElectroSmart app. I post it on my channel often, and it tracks every source around you, and it tells you the power level being emitted at you. And in order to make people sick, all they have to do, they don't need anything else, but having other things is beneficial. They can use just the increase in the power level of the 3 and 4G towers to make you sick. They don't need 5G.
Yeah, that's my question. Are we worried about getting dying? I don't know what people are worried about. Is what I'm seriously. Imagine I'm.
Well, yeah.
What are humans? What are grown-ups worried about?
Well, death.
Oh, death.
well, essentially, yeah, and
Yeah.
lockdown
That's sickness
and all that
and
bullshit.
and
See,
abridgment of
that's
personal
my problem
liberties.
with all of this is you're afraid of something that's going to end everything. Death is nothing. Death is a transition. It's a doorway. I'm not afraid of death.
Well, but we're talking the general public.
Fear. You're pushing fear. Too much fear. Unless we have a way of dealing with it. You're right. Look, you can have the app on your phone. That's fine. But the phone also emits its own IR. So you're kind of, what you're using to measure it is also giving it to you. So that's crazy in my thoughts. But again,
Definition of insanity.
Fear, you're gonna become sick. More fear makes you more sick.
I consider it awareness, not fear.
Just use
I'm
that.
not afraid.
Yeah,
of it.
awareness so that you can do something about it.
I know. I actually know how to fight it. I know solutions.
Right.
You
Right.
know?
Exactly.
So that takes you out of the fear, which I never really was in. I was just aware of it. Being aware of when they attack.
Don't forget that.
Like if you send your children with their phones to the school and they get attacked, you have a record of it now.
Yeah, but don't forget that the electromagnetic part is only one half of the package, because the other half is chemical, and those chemicals are anything that comes from the pharmaceutical industry.
Yeah.
Whether it's called a vaccine or whether it's called a prescription drug. And don't forget that the United States is the most medicated society on earth. We got like 55% of the population taking at least one prescription drug. And of those 55% people, like 75% are taking 3 or more drugs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a recipe for disaster just by itself.
I have a question.
That's a zombie right there, isn't it? That's what that zombie apocalypse is all
With
about.
all of it, though, do you guys? I believe that humans, our frequencies can go much higher than any 5G, 6, 7, whatever the hell, and we can override all the pharmaceuticals and this and that. So I guess that's why I really can't understand why. And are we worried about like the other people that don't know how they're going to react and die and maybe start rioting and fall dead in the street? Like, I guess
No, it's preparing for that. So, like if you're in the city and if you know there's going to be rioting and stuff, you probably want to start getting, ready for that, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and the worst enemies you're going to have is not the sickness or whatever. I think it's going to be like I said, once you get people sick and stuff, then the groceries don't come to the store.
That's
the lights turn off.
Right.
Yeah,
So you want to be stocked up. Yeah.
Then your life gets miserable. And, I think that's what I worry about most is, well, if this does come, then, my lights will turn off because the electric guys will be sick and they won't go, there's a big storm and nobody will plow the roads, and, the groceries won't come kind of like last time, everybody's staying home. Well, I need this part for my truck. Well, we can't get it for 6 months. Sorry. What? I just can't drive? Yep. Sorry.
So get the extra parts, for that. You're going to need a tune-up. You're going to need this, that. Get it now while you can, Just simple stuff like that. And also from another selfish point too, is that because I have a friend of mine who refuses to stock anything. So, oh no, I'll just worry about it when the time comes. But you know what? I know whose door she's going to be at when the shit hits the fan. And so now all of a sudden I'm not just prepping for me now, am I? I'm prepping for everybody. And that's why I want everybody to be more aware and start prepping and do stuff, So yeah, that's why I'm so passionate about it. But sorry.
So what I might be hearing though too is that, so it's not just death that we're worried about. We're worried about life changing as we know it.
Yes. Because regardless of what happens,
understand
the people are going to live. Not everybody will die, or not everybody's going to get sick. And most people get sick or probably recover. It's just that, it might affect the world we live in and the way we do things. And, just kind of like, okay, 9/11. Before that, everything was one way. And just because there was an attack on New York and the Pentagon, our lives changed dramatically after that. Things were different. Gas prices were higher. People were weary. Is there somebody? I'm thinking nobody's around the corner, And then, of course, airports changed, went from getting on a plane to being frisked, getting on the plane, going through scanners and, and so forth and so on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we're anticipating, we know we're going to be uncomfortable, whatever it is that's happening. We're going to be prepared to, say we have to go without the power. And that could be numerous reasons why, from natural disasters to whatever. And so just being prepared to go without, like, how would that look like, and kind of get a few things that would sort of make life a little bit more comfortable, from having water is nice. Remember, there's no flushy anymore. There's nothing coming through the tap, and you might have to go a few weeks. Sanitation, what's that going to look like, and stuff like that. So, you better, I would rather have too much than not enough. So
yeah, I agree.
Okay, so what about afterwards? Like after all that drama?
Well, that's a good question.
So now we're looking at, growing food, all these things. So I already got I think the audio is a little off.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. So that was the first thing I thought about when this Rona thing happened, was to go and get seeds, heirloom seeds. So I got pretty much everything that I like to eat. I got that in seeds, and stashed away. And I got some gardening tools, so I've already thought about afterwards. So what are we going to do? What if the grid does go down for a year? It could happen.
But I don't think it's going to happen, because these people who are doing it they're doing it because they're rich, and the reason they're doing it is because they want to be more rich. They want to make more money. They're not going to make more money off of us if they got the power off.
Bingo.
If you want to depopulate the world, the easiest and quickest thing you can do is do that. Take the power out, because within 2 years, most of us are gone. So
that's
diseases and everything else.
I don't think that's their goal. Because, capitalism works by taking from Peter to give to Paul. And, the more people you have giving into the system, the more people you can have taking from the system.
Yeah.
So
it's slavery.
The problem is that everything is being automated now. So I noticed around me, everybody is worried about their job, because it's getting
everybody's paying.
And
but
so
everybody ready to shut down capitalism
now. They can have machines for that now.
But they're not going to have machines that are. They're not going to have machines that are going to be the consumers. They're not going to have machines that are going to be the taxpayers.
But they're ready to shut down
capitalism. It's not
capitalism.
going to be like that anymore.
But I
won't like that anymore in the future. I don't think.
They're going to get rid of money. You're going to have credit.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole different system. Yeah. So, and that is conserving, because we are carbon print, when you think about it. I mean, let's face it, most people are NPCs. I mean, when you look at it that way. So I see their point there. Devil's advocate here.
To me,
Yeah.
it's not that people are afraid of losing their jobs, but at least 80% of people hate the job they're doing.
Yeah, but
Good
they're all
point.
glad that you have it, though.
Well,
It's a love-hate relationship there,
For
isn't it?
what? Pay the bills that are not going to
Yeah.
be lights are
Yeah.
on? I mean, come on. We can think about it in completely different ways.
Well, they've got a machine that can flip burgers now, so they
Well,
pretty much don't need us,
I do believe that there could be a lot better future, right? So that's the thing. And that's why we got to try and manifest the future that we want rather than what they want, So we can make it work here with everybody. We don't need to get rid of everyone. We can make it work. There's a lot of opportunities for this planet, So, yeah. I think just the number one thing is just being aware of their little plan. Because that's, when the bully all of a sudden is, oh, wait a minute, they know what we're up to, then all of a sudden they have to change their plan.
How many of you have started bartering or are deep in the bartering system?
I barter.
I have bought supplies that I'm going to barter, for the future.
No, I mean, no. I mean, like currently doing it. That's how I get my life going. I don't make any money at YouTube. I get maybe 2 clients a month. I mean, where do you think my life gets supported? Bartering. So I scratch your back, you scratch mine. That's something that I don't think people are doing anymore. And when you start doing it, you don't lack anything.
Well, that's good that you're ahead of the game because that's where we're going. Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody should start thinking about doing that. It's not.
Absolutely. Yeah. We all have our own little talents and things that we can trade. Time's time, So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, before I moved out west here, and for many years, about 10 years back in the day when I was young, I worked for trading things, and I bartered and traded and bartered so much. I was pretty darn good at it. I was used horse salesman, and that kind of, it ain't like I forgot how to do it. So,
yeah,
I mean, it does work good. I'm always in the bartering before cash if I can.
Yeah. And I'm just trying to pose the fact that so everything's going to blow up and it's going to be crazy and it's going to be hell for a minute. Cool. Honestly, I'm
prepared.
I'm so cool with it. I'm so cool with it because maybe it has to be so big for us to stop doing what we're doing.
Yeah. I agree.
Well, see,
yeah,
I think
we do need a reset. It's just not their reset. I don't want that one.
If it's theirs or ours, because even if it's theirs, we're bigger than them. We just take it back. I mean,
exactly. We got to.
Well, but they're cheating though. They're cheating. They can take us out in a split second. It's so easy. I mean,
yeah, we got to realize the fact that there's more of us than there are of them. We have to realize who's doing it. That it's the ruling classes that are doing this. And we have to come to the realization that we do not need these people.
Yeah, and I don't think they can take us out as fast as people think because
that's what I'm saying.
Can get our frequencies a hell of a lot higher than any of that technology. It can get a hell of a lot higher than any kind of whatever we might have put into our system. I don't think they want us to think that they can. You see what I'm saying? They want us to think that it's real easy to wipe us out, and it's not.
Yeah.
My personal opinion.
See, and this is what it's all about. Here, I got some good sayings.
Absolutely.
Confidence is the key if you don't believe in yourself. And I think that's the thing. See, Courtney, I think you have confidence is the key. You have it. You have confidence. You don't need anybody else to whatever. You are there already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why it doesn't bother you.
I think what it is because if anything, we're doing too much of this like behind the screen. If we get out there amongst the people, it's real easy to help them understand. I mean, it's very easy. So I even though it might be a confidence thing, I know everybody's trying to spread awareness, but I don't know if the YouTube is the way to go anymore when the YouTube is not going to be the community that you're going to be living in. You see what I'm saying?
That's
Yeah.
That's
the
right.
truth. This is going to be blocked. The words
Yes.
we've used, AI has already heard all the words that we've used, and this video was going to get shadow banned. It's already been shadow banned. I can tell. It's
Sorry, Robert.
yeah. The words you used just mess with the whole algorithm. I
Well,
know
Yeah.
my
Which
videos have been
was
pulled down.
exactly what you were saying. You know, like, yeah, this isn't a platform because they're shadow banning us. They're censoring every word we're saying, and
Yeah.
you know,
My hope
There's
is that we've raised
Trina.
enough awareness that we don't have to go through
Hi,
it.
everybody.
Yeah.
What's up,
Hey.
Trina?
Hi, Trina.
Hold on, I'm getting settled. I was trying to get on StreamYard. It was giving me so much crap. Give me just a minute, guys. How are you guys? It's so good to see you.
Well, I said tonight was going to be a show about wise stuff, and we got the wisest people. Oh my goodness gracious! Yeah, there you go. You got to turn it the other ear sideways. There. Oh, not again.
Oh,
Some-
no.
There
we
you
go.
go.
Perfect. Stop.
Oh.
Stop. Go back.
There. There you go.
I'm like, oh, this StreamYard thing is not doing well for me. Okay.
Okay.
It's AI.
Okay.
This is what AI does. It's not exactly the great thing you think it is. It's taking time.
Yes.
Automated stuff, it's failing left and right. So be afraid of AI. Maybe later. Oh, she's gone now.
Yeah, do you guys ever wonder that, like when you go to do something with your computer and you're moving way faster than your computer, or you're grocery shopping, you're checking yourself out and you're going way faster than that damn machine? They're never gonna like be bigger, better than us. No matter if they evolve, we evolve. We can be, 5 steps ahead every time, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's slow.
Mhm.
Slow. And
Well-
I gotta say, I'm training my patrons right now to be able to visibly see energy flow. And if you can start developing that skill, you can see when attacks are present. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, and the thing is too is when this stuff is coming, it's been coming, and it goes so slow that we don't even notice. We're the frog in the pot boiling, and we're saying it's not boiling. I don't know why the frogs are dying. It's not boiling, but it is. There's Trina. She's back.
I'm back now. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Trina.
Trina,
So we got frogs. We got frogs dying?
we're
They're not gay. Are they gay frogs?
Yeah, they're probably- we're
Very
talking
possibly.
about Trina. You're down there in Arizona area. What we're talking
Yeah.
about wise people. Are there wise people, or they're just dumbasses like Grandpa Brian said?
There's pockets of both and everything in between. So we have some of the most brilliant people here in Phoenix. We've got MBB 333 here. We've got a bunch of people out of Phoenix. Phoenix Enigma, he's been booted off YouTube for a year plus. These guys are fabulous. We have a lot of people that are patriotic and awake, and then we've got the opposite end of it. We've got everything here. This is a true melting pot. Arizona has always been known for that. We have such a diverse population, people from every state, every country. It seems like Arizona is a little unique that way.
I agree. I think Arizona is. Hey, Robert, can I ask, did you guys discuss what wise is?
Yes, we did. You missed that part. Well, Delabore described it to us, and in a very good detail. And
Okay.
and it doesn't really matter if you're book smart. And Lucky said to update you on it that just you can be book smart, and the smarter you get in books, it might not be make you any wiser, at all. And so being
Without
wise
common
is not.
sense.
Yes, you have to have a balance. You have to have some book smarts. You have to have some common sense, and you got to do it from the third area, is your gut or
And intuition.
intuition. There's
Also street smarts as well.
Yeah, because Intelligence to me is not consciousness.
Yeah.
It is two separate things. Intelligence and consciousness are two separate things.
Yeah, because where does it come from? Where does being wise come from? You're just your gut, because these people, they make up sayings, and it's like, wow, I could have said that, but why didn't I?
Wisdom. When you talk about wisdom, I always think about Pistis Sophia every time. It's like that's the divine part of God, and wisdom is in combination with faith, and that's like what Courtney's talking about, the difference between intelligence and consciousness. Consciousness has the ability to create and feel, and it comes from a higher position, and we can have access to higher positions of the multiverse than the artificial can because of the power of our soul. So we're a little unique, I think, with that aspect, and that's why on the planet our consciousness is where it sits on this planet.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is if there's not a balance of these people who are conscious and wise between them and the other millions of people that are dumbasses, at some point, it has to balance itself out again. And I think that's the problem we're having, because all of us see what's going on, and we all know a few wise people, but as a rule, I see more dumbasses than I see wise people. I have a handful of wise people.
Robert, do you see more dumbasses or more people in fear?
Just dumbasses.
I mean, what's the definition of a dumbass? I mean, I literally...
No, they don't know anything.
Yeah, people who do things...
They're not in fear of anything. They're not aware enough to be afraid of anything.
I like that description. That is so good. They don't think
that there's not a balance.
Somehow or another, I think that it's off. And it's like anything else. If you get too many people who are bad versus people who are good, you're going to have problems. If you got good and bad and it's kind of even, everything works out. You know what I'm saying? You got to have that balance. And if you get too many people that are just like Max described, that they don't have any fear of anything, they don't think, before they do, I see them at work all the time, they just do stupid stuff, and you think, well, why did you do that? Well, I don't know. I have no idea.
Are they kids like 35 and younger?
Some,
not all of them.
Some are older, but a lot of them are the younger group.
I come across you see them here and there, but I don't think the balance is that off, I guess. But I could be wrong. I mean, I literally definitely could be wrong.
Well, that's why I'm trying to get everybody's opinion on this, because in your area, you may see more people that are knowledgeable from your perspective.
I think they're absent-minded. They got COVID fog brain. They're absent-minded. They've got a lot of things going on. They're fearful. They're time is speeding up, and there's a ton of shit going on. But I don't know if I necessarily, if you speak to them individually, maybe a percentage of are like, wow, yeah, you're from the shallow end of the pool, huh? But the majority, if you speak with them, and not just watch them, not just watch them be assholes driving through a parking lot crazy or doing this, or if you actually speak with them and observe more intently, they're not actually dumbasses. They're complicated creatures in a complicated world with a lot going on. So I don't know if the balance, if push came to shove, would they fall out completely because they have no intelligence or consciousness? I think the scale might be lower if you see it that way, opposed to if push came to shove, they can stand up. Does that make sense?
The propaganda is strong, and they are distracted easily. I see a lot of them submerged in video game life.
Yeah.
But once they do actually hear the truth, it does impress upon them.
Yes. Yeah.
So there is good hope for that.
And that's kids, that's grown housewives, that's all sorts of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I live in the center of town, and all I got to do is look out my window, and almost every single person that walks past my house is looking at their phone.
Right.
Almost every single person. In other words, they're not living in the present moment. They're somewhere else, wherever else is.
Yes.
And that's also not a good thing.
Yes.
Because there's a time and a place to be online, and there's also a time and a place to be in your body, walking down the street or interacting with people or whatever. You don't always have to be connected.
Yeah. Here's a good one. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Steve Jobs. No, remember, Steve Jobs said he wasn't going to give phones to his kids. And what did he do? He did the Apple thing, so it makes you wonder, what did he know? He's got, this is what a wise man says: your time is limited. Don't waste it. He could have done anything.
Yeah.
And
Trina, what do you think? Do you think there's an imbalance?
I
Well,
think
see,
yes.
here in Germany, I think that the bell curve of intelligence is very sharp. In other words, most people are at the average point. Most people are at the average point. Whereas in other countries that I've lived in, like Czech Republic, it's flat. It's very flat, because you have people that are extremely smart and extremely stupid with almost nothing in between. Same as what I've observed in the United States. You have a huge amount of smart people, but also a huge amount of stupid people.
yeah, Trina, what do you say about this?
I think that's exactly what I see. And, I just can't stop thinking about how many of these people are actually NPCs, and they're just they're not the same. So I think that we've got a lot of NPCs that are fitting the not so intelligent category potentially, because they're just functioning. They're just doing their thing. They have emotions. They're filling characters for the simulation. I think that might be the explanation for a lot of that. And the ones that you see that, seek and have intelligence and they have that fire in them, those are the organic humans. And I think that has a lot to do with soul. And that goes back to the same thing. Is it true organic consciousness, or is this an artificial copy, implant, whatever? What are we dealing with here? I think we're going to find a lot more about that later as we go through the soul's journey and learn more about what is our soul, and how do we transcend the soul and bring the soul essence into the physical reality. Because I think ultimately that's what we're trying to do. But the ones that don't have that capability, I think it's going to be very evident. And I think you're going to notice that there's two different species, and that might be the difference between the bell curves.
Oh yeah. And Trina, I forgot to tell you, one of my students who is that, she was an NPC or whatever, she actually was able to inherit a spark. She worked that hard. She inherited.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
That's
I only
beautiful.
saw one.
Because I do know that we're all made from the same thing. So even an NPC would have to have some point to where they could literally reconnect to the source light. So that makes a lot of sense to me. And that's beautiful hope that people can evolve, because to gain your spark, and it's not to gain it, it's actually to activate it. And merge with it and become one with it. So when you become one with the consciousness of source creation, that's beautiful to know that NPCs can do that. I always had that suspicion. So thank you for that confirmation.
Yeah, I never knew that could happen. And then
I wonder.
We've looked at the NPCs, or what you would call an NPC, in remote viewing, and we really couldn't find one. Every creature has at least a spark. Even the most evil creature you could imagine has a spark.
I know that's true.
Yeah,
I've
so
seen
they're not really NPCs.
Yeah.
I was always I did a lot of soul retrieval with the Lord when I was younger, and in the soul retrievals, I mean, I had to learn how to do things differently, because they'll get you and they'll suck you down into their realms. So you got to fight. but I had to learn how to fight better, smarter and stronger instead of stupider and more violent, because I got in trouble for blowing shit up. But when I did that, I could see these souls. Oh, so many of them. And none of them could find their light. None of them could see it. They were so dark and so in their own mental construct of just shit. And I would be sent to go pluck one out of there that had come to some type of consciousness to where they were ready to release themselves. Because you can release yourself from any state of consciousness. And all of these different layers of reality are literally states of consciousness. So yeah, that's real. So when I would go and get these things, a lot of them, I was bad deal, but then I learned how to fight better. And the way I learned to do that was to sit above them and not let them to where they could get me, to where they couldn't physically grab a hold of me. So I had to keep myself above them. And then what I had to do was identify my target, and I would focus my light on that target, and I would say, see my light. And they would be like, yes. And I was like, now see yours. And I would teach them to expand their own light. And when I did that, I wasn't grabbing one soul anymore. I was grabbing hundreds, because they were all doing their own work. They would see one turn into light, and then they were like, well, I can do that too. And then they would light up their heart. So it was a beautiful process that I saw after I stopped battling for souls and literally changed the way I did it and took it to a higher position. So that was kind of cool. And I saw so many turn from utter demonic, creepy, demonic beings to turn into beautiful human beings. I would watch a demon turn into a human. It was really powerful.
Yeah. I have to say to the panel that was here and you and everybody that is still here, I might have been coming off abrasive, and I apologize for that, but it's as what Trina was just saying. I don't live in the same consciousness of 3D. So when topics like this come up, I really don't understand what people are afraid of. And so I really came off abrasive, and I didn't mean to do that, but
no, that's all right, because that's the whole point. We want your perspective. Your perspective is different than all of ours, and because that is great. If you agree or disagree, I don't want everybody to have the same perspective.
I know.
Kind of good show this. What show would this be if everybody said, yeah, I agree to that, I agree to this, I agree, without asking a question, saying, well, maybe I don't see that. It's different for me. And that's what it's all about. One person sees it one way, like Grandpa Brian. He says, some of the people, most of them, they're all dumbasses. Well, Trina says, hey, we got some brilliant people over here. It's such a mix. And, Delabor's saying everybody's on their cell phone, looking at their cell phone all day long over there. Because it's a world away, Lucky, you got problems with your people. You got some good people, and they're trying to mesh them together. And Max, you're seeing this too, and it's like, holy cow! But that's what's really great.
I think for us too, because we're all older and we did not have the technology to have him in our face the whole time.
Yeah.
So that if anything were to scare me, it's what will happen with the younger generation when they go through an automatic detox, or not know how to do anything.
Withdrawal symptoms.
Because we can go right back to doing what we always did. It's much easier for us who knew a life before it. That's the only worry that I would have, is the mental anguish, freak out, possible harm to self and others from the detoxing off of technology within the young generations. That's the one thing that I would be most concerned about.
Yeah.
Because there will be rioting. There will be a lot of things. There will be this. There will be that.
Yeah.
Always a ending and a beginning.
Imagine what's going to happen when people can't get their Xanax.
Yeah, right. Or their
Right.
or this.
God,
or they're that.
yes. I'm seeing that already. People are having trouble getting their meds.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yep.
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 Definitely. It's
Yeah.
it's a
I
thing.
keep telling them all, you guys better find natural alternatives because you don't want to get cut off those drugs too fast. It's not okay. It's not the way it should be done. So I
Yeah.
keep telling them all, get ready, guys. You better get your natural alternatives online because you might be in trouble here real soon.
The wellness company offers ways to get people off of their medications onto natural supplements. And most of these mass murders that we have recently, most of these people are on antipsychotic medication, which,
Yes.
and I'm sorry, they're not on it. They've come off of it recently.
Yes.
So, just a heads up, you know.
Actually, like I always tell people, the best prepping you can do is to like get off every single pharmaceutical you can. It's to not be a consumer of that industry.
But think about it too, though, then, guys. So I don't think the percentages are that off. But just look at everybody in this chat right now.
Mhm.
Max, you could be showing people how to remote view to find the things that they need in a safe way. Trina, you know a million different things. We all have skills and talents to help those around us to lighten the blow. And I know everybody in this room is capable of doing that. So I guess there's this thing called the white pill that's optimism. I take a lot of those pills. I have a lot of optimism because I think there'll be very rough times. I think there'll be very rough times that.
See, had there never been a COVID-19, I would be on the same level as you in that respect. I would also be more optimistic, but that I think sapped every bit of optimism I ever had, or any remnant of trust I ever had in government, medicine, and science in general.
Well, good.
Oh,
Good.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't want you to trust the government. No pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
You are the ultimate sovereign power of your own.
Agreed.
So, good. I'm glad. That made me even more optimistic.
I smoke the hopium of mankind. I hope that we're raising awareness enough that mankind will, we don't even have to go through it. That's what I'm hoping.
That's
the hopium that I have.
We're gonna go through something.
I see that as a potential, and I am so with you. I'm a hopium person too, and I know my frequency that they told me. Why did I come here? They're like, to be joy. I'm like, oh gosh, in this shit show, really? That's a little bit of a challenge, but I'm supposed to be the hopium. But I really do, guys. I think we're going through a huge transition, and it's about light. And this light is going to make a lot of people uncomfortable, but it's a good thing. And it's kind of like we're going to be going through the stages of the bardo before we die. So we're going to be going through this, and there's going to be 3 levels of transition of light that we have to obtain. And the biggest part of that whole process is purification, because the transcending light that heals and fixes our planet has been blocked by the planet itself through the artificial constructs and the frequency fence around our planet. So we're breaking through that shell, which is going to break the veil. The veil is going to break. A lot of people are going to go crazy because they're going to see things they didn't see before. They're going to be a little shaken by the potentials of what I see coming. So this light is going to start moving and shaking some things. And I think a lot of this destruction is going to be like what we saw in Maui. It's going to be compartmentalized. So it's going to be in pockets. It's not all going to be at the same time, although I do think we're in for a heavy blow in September. And I don't know exactly yet what that's going to look like.
Yeah. I have to agree with Lucky on something about them taking down the internet or something, but I agree with Trina, what she's bringing the light to everybody in the veil. But how do we do that? This right now is the time that we spread our message. This is the time that we can reach out to the people through this medium. And when they do shut it off, hopefully, we're trying to get to other people, get new people to see that light and be, turn from one to the other. Because when they shut this off, all you're going to have is the neighbors that you have around you to maybe talk to. And if you haven't talked to them yet, well, now you don't even know who they are, and they may be your enemy. They may be that person on the mental drugs. They may be, like Nina said, that of hers going to come knocking on her door. She's preparing for a few people to come knocking, so she's prepping a little extra just in case. So
Right.
this is the only chance we're going to get. And after this is gone, we're up the creek, or I should say.
Well, I think they'll take it down in like Trina was saying, in areas and pockets. It won't be everywhere all at once, even with the internet, heat, electricity, and all that. Because they have to keep.
Can I read?
Keep track of us, right?
Yeah.
Can I read this to you guys? I think this might be good because we're all kind of looking at so much of the same stuff. And I thought this was totally amazing. This is from Sophia, the Pistis Sophia book, the white leather bound Bible book. And I don't agree with all of this, but most of this really resonates with me. And it says, the mystery of the unfolding light will be the synthesis that is upon us. Ultimately, Archangel Michael will step and he will conquer the fallen rulers which are seen in Revelations as the wild beasts and the dragons of power. But this influence of the lower rulers is very great, and it is so strong a pressure upon the lower aeons with the power of entropy. This entropy is so strong. This is why Jesus, the Christ, had to return, but albeit he will return again, but not in a body. He will return in full glory. Moses will come back. Buddha will come back. They will all return in their light bodies to complete the building of a biohelix of light. Building a biohelix of light. I thought that was profound. Okay. So it will take the collective effort on all levels and all dimensions of reality that would be required to cut us off from the archons and reconnect the children of God to work with the divine family in the higher heavens. Now, that's what I've been seeing my whole life. I am not from here. I come from a different place, and it is not in this cell, which means universal cellular wall. I am not from here. So the coming back of the divine teachers and the lords is the final fulfillment of the cosmic blueprint. It is expanding on multiple levels simultaneously throughout the multiverse. The lower hierarchy will continue to try to prevent the ascension of wisdom. This is why they want to block the sun. They want to prevent the establishment of the communication loop with the Creator and the Lords of Light. Once this connection is made, miracles of the Holy Spirit will be brought forth again very easily throughout humanity. Then we will see what is called the Age of Miracles. I've been taught my whole life, I came here to graduate, to be like Jesus, which was to perform the miracles that he performed, because I would not be the only one. There would be millions of us doing it all at the same time. And this work of transformation is begun. As the transformation work accelerates, some of us will have the ability through conscious projection to do spiritual work on many countries simultaneously. We will be able to bilocate, and we will be able to place our energy throughout the globe, to have the abilities to manifest paraphysically via several light bodies coordinated with the Christed Overself. And some will have the ability to tap into superior communication processes with the Christed beings, and that they would hold the new titles of lords. Due to the vestures of light that they will build, the garments of light that they will weave through working as one unit together and solely, and multiplying your power through the oversoul of you. So these garments of light will take on new symbols and seals. And that's what they meant about the garments of light, of the coat of many colors in the Bible. This is what they speak of. This is going to change our auras, the colors, the symbols, the sigils, They're all going to start to change. We're going to get new layers of them. So I kept seeing all of that beautiful stuff. And then I was reading this book and all the stuff was coming into the book too. I was like, it's even in here. It's talking about how we're going to change our light. We're going to put on new garments of light. And that is going to be many people will do this. It won't be like us against the world anymore. More and more are going to wake up, and they're going to wake up fast.
Every
And it's
eye
because
will see
we
him.
can hold. Yes, we will hold the light, and it will affect them. But we are the anchors. We have
Yeah,
to
well,
bring this in.
I think
through
I
us.
think it's already starting because, like,
Yes.
the most downloaded video of all time was the speech that Dr. David Martin made in front of the European Union in May of this year. That's like the most
Yes.
downloaded speech ever. Like literally hundreds of, like, not hundreds of billions, but billions and billions of views.
Wow.
In
I
other
have
words,
to,
people are getting this information.
What was it about? I didn't see it.
I have to go, guys. I have class. Wish I
Oh,
could
yeah.
continue, but
All right.
see you
It-
later.
it's
Thanks,
about
Max. We'll see you. We'll see you soon.
Okay.
And
Much
we'll put
love,
the link
yes.
in the chat
Keep-
here in a little while.
Keep smoking that hopium, okay, guys, and keep spreading
Yeah.
the word like you're doing, and we'll win. Like that's the way it goes, and maybe we won't have to
We
suffer as
win.
much. Right?
Yes, we win.
Yep.
We've already won. That's what we got to say. Thanks,
That's
Max.
right.
See you later. See you soon.
Bye.
That was a lovely reading, Miss Trina. I loved it, and
It was really good.
I agree. I know the light and onward and upward to the sun. SUN.
Can I read this? This is amazing too, guys. This says, okay, when you think about the difference between the soul or the spirit, it says, how do you know the difference? Okay, Mary had a vision, a dream that she saw the Lord and she told him her vision. She saw him in his robe. She saw him in his garment of light. And then she says, is it a vision that I perceive it through the soul or the spirit? So where do our visions come from? And he answered, one perceives through neither soul or spirit, but by the mind which connects the two.
Well, like I always point out, in my language, the word for spirit and soul is the same word. It's just the male version is the spirit, and the female version, or in the female tense, is the soul. Soul is
Yeah, and the
female,
sun
spirit is
is
male.
what processes all the information in the biocomputer system. So the sun
And the sun is neutral.
is what processes. Yeah, it
Sun
processes.
is neutral.
Look up
Yeah.
look up the ancient Greek words suke, suke, which we turned into psyche, and the way it's described is that the connection between mind, body, and soul, or soul and spirit, and we turned that into then psyche. It was suke.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah.
That is
It's-
interesting.
Yeah. And one of them, another culture near ancient Greece, I think it's like we took the saying of Greece and then this other culture, because they spelled it Pyshke or something, when the Greeks actually spelled it Suke. So I think we just ended up kind of going, okay, no, it's psyche, and we're gonna take out that K, and we're gonna, yeah, we were doing stuff, but it's that connection. And if you read about it, how they describe it is lovely. It's absolute. But also put it in that context. We now call that our psyche.
Mhm.
You know, it's interesting where words come from.
Yeah.
Psyche means mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, because psychedelic means mind clearing
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Greek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucky, how are you doing up there, buddy?
Lucky, what do you got to say? Putting you on the spot. Sorry.
It's a lot. Trainer and Courtney really brought it around. It's within us. And what other people are doing in their phones or having problems functioning, it's not us to judge them. The people we think are incompetent, if they really care what they're doing, it might be a training issue. They might not be incompetent. It might be what the information that was given to them. You said that, I have problems at work. I don't have problems at work. I am a solution at work. I come in and I meet the people who are having the issues. I put them together. My life isn't obstacles. My life is opportunities. And that's when I hear all this fear talk. It just aggravates me because I'm looking for solutions, not for problems. And we are the light. We walk around, but this world brings us down.
I agree with that.
And that's, and I'm also dealing with spirits who are telling me things. Follow the light. Follow the path of joy and light. This world is not as you see it. They keep telling me that. I'm like, just let them go. Let them go. So, it's a lot.
That follow the light and what?
Oh, follow the path of joy and light. This world is not as you see it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
That's exactly correct.
Man. That's real psychedelic.
Be in this world, not of this world. Those kind of things. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
No.
I was just looking at the same thing. It's like when you realize that you are the image, you realize that you are not the flesh, you are not the body, but you are truly an image of God. The similitude of the Father, the image is the Father, and the Word is the Mother. The Son connects them together in you, the brain, heart, gut connection.
Yeah.
We're figuring this out. We're figuring out how to light us up. And as we do that, that will be the path of joy and light that you're to walk. And you're doing it. And by doing that, the world is not what we think it is, because this overlay of the dark bullshit is getting ready to break apart. And they know it, and they're panicking desperately. And it's so beautiful, because if we just keep on keeping on, that's all we need to do, because we're already getting it done. So we win. I know it. I know it.
That's why things look bad, because they are so scared.
Yes.
They're putting all their chips in the basket. Let's push. But we are winning. But unfortunately, the ones around us are seeing the negative, the darkness. But the light is so much brighter than the darkness.
Yeah.
And you got to figure, heaven and hell are a consciousness. You will get what you think. So what you believe about, you will bring about.
Look at it this way. Even the stupid people don't want to live in a police state. Even those stupid people don't want to live in a North Korea type country.
Thank you.
Yeah. So,
Exactly. Right. So eventually, even if we're forced to come back together, humanity taking care of humanity, even if it's forced, I'm still all for it. Like, I hate saying it, but I am all for it, even if it's a forced outside of us making it happen. And I have to say, I used to say on my program, the God spark within us. I always would try to tell people, light it up, because everybody, you can see all the people in their God sparks as like little butterfly, or not butterflies, but lightning bugs in the world, little lightning bugs. But when push comes to shove, we will be able to light it up. And then there is nothing that can defeat us. There is nothing. Light is creation. And if we are light, then we create in that moment, and it's over with. So do you see what I'm saying? Like, there's just more people that need to represent themselves beyond the God spark and become the flame. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because to get a spark, you need a positive charge and a negative charge.
Yeah.
You got a positive
or a
and a
little
negative.
wind of the spirit to fire the flame.
But that's binary thinking. If you take positive and negative and multiply both sides by 1, you get +1 and -1. But that's wrong, because there's also 0. That's
Yeah.
trinary thinking.
The 0 point of creation.
0 point. Yeah.
That we just start creating all over again. It'd be
Yeah.
awesome. It'd be
Mhm.
awesome.
I
Yeah.
think too, many of us are going to be able to connect to our multidimensional self. And when we can do that, you're going to be able to connect to all of your other creation points in this field of consciousness, which is called the earth realm of humanity. So I think it's going to get really big on many, many levels. If we can get to, I'm aiming for 13th dimensional access, and I'm on my way. So
Yes. Me too, definitely. I don't know why people stop at 12 when 13 is the ultimate. I even have a tattoo. on
I'm
my
already
chest.
at 13. I've gotten to 13, but I don't know what's going on after that.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Yes. Well, you know, we've discussed a lot. I thank you. This was really, really, really good. I tell you, wise things, and I think we should all go out, you know, and try to give. You know, I mean, you're right. I think everybody's got a spark, and you need to go and light their fire with their own spark. I think that's what they're missing.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
knowledge.
Spread the word to everybody that you can in your real
You know,
world
guys, too,
circle of friends. You know.
Yeah.
100 monkeys,
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
we're that 100. We're that 100, and boy, when we light up and when we ignite our fire, we affect all the sleeping monkeys around us. So
Yeah.
it'll happen naturally and organically if we do our work, and that's where it starts. It starts with you. It starts with me. We start in here,
Exactly.
and
Yep.
we'll get through this. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we will. We will absolutely. And I appreciate you all coming on tonight, and I appreciate everybody in the chat. Everybody who was here had to drop out. Max Vision is on right now, and I put the link, I think, in the chat, and I'll do it again if you want to head on over there and get some mind training with his remote viewing class. I appreciate all of you. Lucky, Delabor, Courtney, Trina, thanks for popping in. This was great. Especially, I'm
I'm
glad
so
you had
glad.
that is so good. You had that thing ready for us. It was perfect. It was perfect. And
It's synchronicity, guys. I've been writing for the last 3 days, and this is all the stuff I've just been writing. So
wow.
it's synchronicity, completely synchronicity. It's just writing away. And this comes out of my consciousness. I read something and then I write down what I think about it, and it's just flowing out of me. And right now it's all about this new dimensional light we have access to and how to connect to it. So do your work and do it well and shine like a 12D diamond, because I see all of you doing it.
Absolutely. Can't wait. I can't wait for the changes, but you know, I got to remember everybody that it's gonna happen slowly. It doesn't pop in and tomorrow you wake up and all of this stuff has changed. It's gonna take some time, and you got to be the frog boiling in the pot, and you got to make it through all of that to get to the other side. So with that, everybody, join us again on Tuesday night, if not sooner. Catch Nina on Sunday Live. And right now, go over to Max Vision and check him out. And with all of that, everybody, remember, go out, be nice to your neighbor, spread that, get his spark to start some fire. Give him a smile, a wave, whatever it is. And remember to do something nice for yourself also. And with that, be the frequency you want to receive, everyone. I love you all. Peace, everybody.